one, the only Saturday Night Live. Now, over the course of its 40-year run, there have been many changes, but there's also been one constant, your weekend update. Of the one, the only Saturday Night Live. Now, over the course of its 40-year run, there have been many changes, but there's also been one constant, your weekend update.
Good evening. Our top story tonight. Here are tonight's top stories.
Aren't these fake news programs the hottest things on cable now and have been for so many years? But didn't that all come from Weekend Update? I think so.
Weekend Update is very intimidating because some of the best comedy minds ever have done that job. Norm Macdonald, Tina Fey, Chevy Chase, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers.
Was it just doing Weekend Update where you get to sit behind the desk and wear a suit and be a host? I think led to a lot of the things I got to do.
Archaeologists in Italy have discovered a couple buried 6,000 years ago still hugging each other, which I'm sure was her idea.
That's the gift of Weekend Update. As Lauren always points out, it's the only part in the show where you get to say your name every week.
I'm Seth Meyers.
I'm Amy Poehler, and here are tonight's top stories.
Hey, over here.
The Weekend Update segment was great for me. I used to think in those terms of writing jokes, like setup and punchline.
My time is up. Thank you for paying attention regarding Medicare and big reduction.
It was great because it was a sit-down job for me and gave you a chance to rest a little bit.
What's that smell on your breath, Cajun Man? Onion.
Adam Sandler knew by sitting next to whoever's doing the news. You sit next to him, you be funny at that. Adam recognized that was his place to really shine.
Weekend Update is great because different people come in and sit at the desk and do shtick, or they can throw it to whomever they like.
New York's hottest club is
Your mother and I are separating.
It's new every week. People just want to see how the heck are they going to talk about what happened in our country.
Hey, Bill Cosby, pull your damn pants up. You know why comedy's dangerous? Because people judge you by what you laugh at.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
That's our job as professionals. When you're vice president, bitch is basically the job description. It's cool to push the envelope a little bit past where it's supposed to be pushed and still be okay, and still have people okay with it. That's why it's exciting to be a part of SNL.
Tonight on First Look, we're celebrating the longevity of the one, the only Saturday Night Live. Now, over the course of its 40-year run, there have been many changes, but there's also been one constant, your weekend update. First Look wants to talk to you. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Tonight on First Look, we are looking back at 40 years of laughs on Saturday Night Live. Now, in 4 decades, SNL has churned out thousands upon thousands of sketches and characters, which we have the pleasure of going through. But who's your favorite?
Oh boy.
You can't ask. I mean, how can you ask that?
Yeah, I love like goofy stuff like Molly Shannon.
Mary Catherine Gallagher bursting through walls. Those sketches were the first that I really learned and memorized and really irritated people with.
The MacGruber sketch was absolutely ridiculous. They'll take something completely absurd and then commit to it with everything they got.
The guy making copies. Of course, it was Rob Schneider.
Randy!
The Comedy Machine guy came from the fact that there were so many cast members and writers.
The Ranster!
And I just kind of noticed you couldn't be as excited the 8th or 9th time you see somebody as the first time.
Only one copy for the Ran Man!
Coneheads. The Coneheads. It's one of my favorite sketches.
Vital communication from Remulac. Vital communication from Remulac.
Bobby Moynihan as drunk uncle.
I think you're a little too drunk.
Yeah, what's Big Brother?
I love the Rock Brigade, and I love the music that went with them and how they would interpret it with their heads, and they thought they were so cool.
People will call us frickin' frack or partners in crime. We had no idea it would blow up like that.
You know, Wayne's World.
I'm not worthy! I'm not worthy!
Church lady.
Hans and Franz.
I'm Hans. And I'm Franz, and we just want to pop. You are.
Dana Carvey and I came up with those after watching Arnold Schwarzenegger on a interview show.
I'm sure Arnold is not threatened. No, actually, I think not. I think not.
When Tina and Amy did Hillary and Sarah Palin, that obviously was like one of the hugest moments in the history of the show.
And I can see Russia from my house.
I could watch Amy do anything.
But probably the most memorable SNL sketch of all time is simply Larger Than Life.
We've been through this. We've only got the budget for one dancer.
Yeah, but they're both so great, I can't decide between them.
I mean, the Chippendale sketch is one legendary sketch to me. Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze.
He's got the bow tie and the cuffs and the leather pants, standing next to Patrick Swayze, who's like, the perfect embodiment of bum food. And I can't look. And finally, I thought, I gotta look up eventually because I'm gonna be on camera for my line. So I figured if I just concentrate on his belly, I'd get through it.
We're gonna go with Adrian.
I knew it, man.
And come up.
People watch that.
It's my old King Tut costume. I remember this.
Now answer me this. What would SNL be without a ringmaster to rope it all in?
My favorite host. I don't know, it changes so much.
There's so many great hosts that came on that show. It's hard to pick just one.
What's your favorite shoe, left or right?
Christopher Walken, man, the Continental. That was so bizarre, so weird.
Kerry Washington.
Wonderful.
Drake.
Perfect.
Driz.
Amazing.
Miley.
Oh my God. It is like totally the morning and the birds are chirping and stuff like that. And I'm like super hungry and stuff like that. And I am obsessed with cereal.
Alec Baldwin, of course, is phenomenal.
That guy's another level.
You know, it seems like the moment you get out of the city, all your problems just sort of fade away.
And while Baldwin has hosted SNL a record-breaking 16 times, the title for most Saturday Night Live appearances, 27 to be precise, belongs to another.
Tonight we move into the record books.
When Steve Martin was hosting, anytime he hosted, it was electric.
You want my lines for a scene?
We have a sketch together? Is it on cue cards?
I guess so.
Well, what's the problem?
They did the Wild and Crazy Guys, which I only think we did 4 or 5 of those. It was ridiculous.
We are two wild and crazy guys.
By the time Steve Martin performed King Tut, 17 million people watched that.
It's my old King Tut costume.
Boy, McDonald's Citizen Press.
This is back when the show meant something.
My first time hosting SNL was in 1996.
My name's David Allen Greer, and it's great to be hosting Saturday Night Live.
I remember talking to Lorne Michaels, and he says, David, much like with Steve Martin, he would come back and host. This was kind of like a second home. I want this to be that to you. Never heard from her again.
Hosting SNL was a lifelong dream. It's like being shot out of a cannon.
You really don't know what it's like until you do it.
That's the thing people don't realize about Saturday Night Live. You don't have enough time. It would take 9 days to really do the show.
Oh my God.
You get 5. And of those you waste one day, you're still recovering from the day before. Monday, the host comes in, you have to pretend that there's a show.
And then going into the writing on Tuesday and being, staying up late.
And then Wednesday afternoon, we read all those sketches.
By Saturday night, you better have them figured out.
It's like a blur, it's 6 days of pure work.
There's nothing like that. You don't see that anywhere else.
The most exciting moment is when you are about to walk out. There's that little doorway, and there's a tiny monitor, and they're going, live from New York City, Saturday night. And you go on, and it's just from there on, it's no looking back. Oh, yeah. That moment was pretty awesome. I mean, I've done theater, I've done Broadway, I've done all that stuff, but that was the most exciting.
Stick around and we'll be right back.
SNL isn't coming up with their own characters, they're going after celebrities who are ripe for the picking.
What makes a really good impression is your interpretation of that person. Like my Al Pacino, like I just saw him as a blind man. Where are you going? Ooh, ha!
I'm just getting warmed up!
You should find someone no one else has done, therefore you cannot fail, because there's no precedent.
I look for people who I maybe could sort of look like, or people who just, their essence makes me laugh.
I think I'm 40. Maybe I'm 5. I don't know. My brain is broken.
They asked me, can you do anything? And I was like, yeah, Maya Angelou, as a joke. And they jumped on it.
Fruity Loops! Fruit Loopies! Swimming in the churning, frothy mother sea of milk.
And Phil Hartman could, do almost anybody.
Come on, swing, baby, you're platinum.
But I remember the sketch when he was playing Bill Clinton.
That's what your boy doesn't like pickles. Nah, he hates them. Come on.
Taking one person's tray and trying to talk, and he just literally started choking. Choking on air. For sure, right?
From the legendary Groundlings Theater in Los Angeles, California, to celebrate a monumental milestone in television history. Now, in 1975, a little show that wasn't quite ready for prime time hit the airwaves, and right away, people knew it was special. Over the span of 40 years, that show has entertained us, inspired us, and most importantly, it's made us laugh a lot. So tonight, we're honoring Saturday Night Live.
It's the 40th season of SNL.
The 40th season. We did it together.
The best description of Saturday Night Live, it's trying to make ourselves laugh and our friends laugh.
I think the success of Saturday Night Live comes from the format. You get music combined with comedy and pop culture.
And I think that's why it's lasted so long.
Now Taylor Swift is here. What is it like to be a part of the show's history? It's monumental. Good evening, my fellow Americans.
It's been incredible that the show has remained relevant and really expanded.
When you get on Saturday Night Live, you're in show business. Before that, really, you're not in show business.
Please refrain from using ethnic slurs.
I always wanted to be on SNL, but to be on during the 40th anniversary is mind-bending.
It feels like an incredible privilege. I could not have imagined working here as a child.
Well, you worked here as a child, right?
I swept the stage.
No way!
But beyond all of the elements that make SNL a hit year after year, there's one essential ingredient to the show's success.
Lorne Michaels is a key.
Lorne Michaels is beyond the cornerstone of the show. He conceived it, executed it.
Hi. I'm Lorne Michaels, the producer of Saturday Night.
He's got a pretty good eye for comedy.
You have agents. You know where I can be reached. Just think about it, okay?
Just a genius.
Without Lorne Michaels, there would be no SNL. Did I say that before? Okay, good.
When Saturday Night Live first came on, Lorne was, 30, 35? These were young lions. They were the angry youth.
Can I have a sandwich, please?
People who had absolutely no experience in television at all.
And to mature through that and to become a part of the establishment, yet still be smart enough to evolve and change, find those young voices and keep transitioning. You know, that's who he is.
There are certain things that we do exactly the same as they did in 1975.
Good evening, I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not.
And certain things that are always changing.
It's not just the actors on there and the music, it's, you know, everything that goes into it, from the set design to the costumes to the writing to casting it.
And a lot of times they're doing it in only 2 or 3 days.
It's chaos, but it just works beautifully because you don't ever think that it's not going to happen.
It'll go down in history as probably one of the best comedy shows ever.
Copyright 2015, NBC Universal Media LLC.